Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is Societal Narcissism. This video is sponsored by contribution from the Princess, and she sent in another story. Hi, Ollie. It's the Princess. Continuing with the crazy people make you crazy from my last story. When I started my journey to figure out a toxic friendship that ended a few years ago, I had gone to YouTube and looked up toxic relationships, which brought me to narcissism, narcissistic relationships, etc. Doing that, doing that add a lot of self-reflection. I've uncovered my lifetime of abuse. So when I came across a bunch of videos, audios, where there is someone clearly losing their shit, and someone who would have that sing-songy voice, oh, I don't understand, why are you yelling at me, sob, 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 then no sobbing or crying. The person clearly losing their shit would say something completely rational. You maxed out all the credit cards. Where is all that money in the account? Why did you go behind my back and do XYZ? You forgot to pick up the kids for hours. Where were you all that time? On other audios would be someone who sounded like they were at the end of their rope, screaming, stop talking, leave me alone, and then the other person following them, and their voice would have that mocking tone. Why won't you talk to me? The person recording sounded very weirdly calm for the situation. In the title was always something about when the narcissist spouse yells at you, and the commenters would have, oh, that person is financially abusing you. Who are they to say what you can and do with the money, or who you can talk to? They're supposed to have your back, stuff like that. To me, it sounded pretty justified why that person would be pissed off, and there was something off that I couldn't put my finger on, like the sing-songy or mocking voices, or the obvious fake crying. Like, what was that about? Gaslighting, that's all that is. It's all to spark a reaction. What it did was remind me of the so many times I lost my shit on my mom. She would just keep pushing my buttons until I explode and lose my freaking mind. Right. That's why they do it. They keep pushing your button until they spark that reaction that then they can turn around and say, oh, you're the problem. They don't leave you alone. They keep pushing and prodding and forcing, and if they have to become violent, they become violent. And then when you raise your hands to block yourself or push back, you're the problem. Everything they do is to spark a reaction out of you, a reaction that they can then turn around and use against you. So then you are the problem. A completely irrational explosion, I would sound like a lunatic. It's not irrational, though. It can only take so much. Human beings can only take so much before they strike back, before they push back. It's not an irrational. If somebody keeps poking and prodding with the purpose of sparking a reaction from you, the reaction is not irrational at that point. I would sound like a lunatic. Afterwards, I always felt disgusted, embarrassed, gross, ashamed, crazy. I'd hate myself. Who was that? Where did that come from? It came from the constant poking and prodding to get that reaction. The narcissist wasn't going to stop until they got that reaction one way or another. From that moment in time, it wasn't me. It was like a switch just flicked and I snapped in an instant. All for a stupid question or statement. Mom would be oh so calm. I would always think that she looked satisfied with herself. Why? Because she was. Because she got the reaction she was seeking. Afterwards, it was, what was your problem? I'm just asking a question. See, no one can talk to you. You don't know how to talk to people. You have some serious problems, which is what she wanted to say to you the entire time. Once she's got you in the frame of mind that you're wrong, that you're the problem, that you're irrational, now she can preach to you from her fucking high horse. She would later recount to anyone who would listen about how I screamed and cursed at her, and she didn't know what my problem was. She just asked me a simple question. Something is wrong with me. She must have been happy that she had another story to tell people. She's such a saint, and look at the abuse she takes from her kids, making me look like some completely crazy nut job to anyone who would listen. To myself, I would think, shit, am I really the problem? What's happening? What's wrong with me? How did this happen? I would truly hate myself. So I kept researching toxic relationships and came across the term reactive abuse. I thought that it seemed to fit, but I wasn't sure. I kept searching and happened to come across your channel and actually found your channel through Angie Atkinson's channel. Rest in peace. Yeah, poor Angie. Anya, yeah, I mean, she is a loss to the community. It is a loss to the community. I liked her a lot. On your channel, I watched a bunch of videos and came across a couple where you reacted to audio files and you called the sender out for being the narcissist, and that was the light bulb moment I needed. My mom flipped the script on me, fucking reversed Uno me. All these years, instead of her flipping her shit, acting all crazy, keeps pushing my buttons until I was out of my mind crazy and lose my mind. Then she could sit back and suck up all the supply. Exactly. Which is why you have to go no contact. The only way you win is not to play the game. And if you're talking to these people, you're playing the game. They're constantly working you for the right time to drop the hammer. No contact is the only answer. Which is why you got all these people now make of these estranged parents of petulant children, okay, on the internet crying because they've been cut off. They've been cut off from their supply and they can't handle it. What I didn't think about until now, since I'm putting stories together, is that mom switched tactics when she could no longer get my tears for her supply. How the hell did I not figure this out sooner? What does she do to make me crazy? She repeats herself or repeatedly asks me the same stupid questions. For example, I was living out of state in a small condo. She came to visit me and I noticed I don't have a roasting pan, and apparently she believed I needed one. I didn't need one. I didn't have room in my teeny tiny kitchen for one. I was one person. I wasn't roasting huge pieces of meat that would need a roasting pan. And if I needed one, I'd get one of those disposable ones so I wouldn't need to store it. Use and toss. Exactly. I mean, you're not making a full roast for yourself if you're living alone. Okay, but she saw an opportunity. You brought her out there, and when you moved to another state, you had some distance, you had some boundaries, and then you brought her in here, and she was just going to search for anything she could use to flip you the fuck out. So for 5 days or so, all she talked about was a fucking roasting pan, repeatedly, many times a day, randomly interjected in conversation. She called this one and that one about how we're going to go shopping for a roasting pan. I heard it over and over and over. I would calmly explain I don't need one at the time. Let's say the only thing I'm going to do with a roasting pan is bash you across the head with it at this point. Then I finally snapped in the middle of Home Depot with an audience. Oh, that's exactly where she wanted you to snap too. That's exactly where she wants it to happen. So we're in Home Depot and I'm measuring something to see if it'll fit in my condo. As I'm there measuring and writing down measurements, she goes, after this, let's go to Bed Bath & Beyond and get you a roasting pan. Fuck. What's stopping you from getting me a roasting pan? If you want it so bad, just go buy a roasting pan and give it to me. No, that's too easy. That's too simple of an answer. Go order one off Amazon and have it sent to me. That's too easy. It's not about the roasting pan. It's about something she sees you don't want to do, and she's going to keep hitting that nerve until you strike back. I completely lost my shit in Home Depot in front of people. I exploded. I don't want a fucking roasting pan. Stop talking about a fucking roasting pan. Fuck this shit. Let's go. So not only did she get you to freak out, now you're leaving Home Depot and denying getting something. You're there to get something you actually want and need, and now you're not getting that. So what she's doing is, not only because you won't get a roasting pan, now you're not going to get what you actually want. The only way to win is to not play the game. I must have looked and sounded like a psychopath. Turned my back to grab my stuff, and there were some people just staring at me, wide eyes and mouths agape. I took a deep breath, slowly let it out, and very calmly said, "Sorry about that. In the past 5 days she's been here, I've heard at least 100 times about a roasting pan. Over 100 times, not kidding, don't need one, I'm done." I promise you, those people didn't look at you as crazy as, think you were as crazy as you think. Because that's how you were trained to think. I promise you a couple of them were kind of jealous, like, why can't I fight back? They know where you, I promise you, a bunch of them knew exactly where you were coming from. So not only did she get you to freak out, she got you to deny yourself something you actually wanted and needed, because that's why you were in Home Depot in the first place. This is why you don't bring them along for anything, because they're going to ruin anything and everything they possibly can. I stormed out of Home Depot, and I just wanted to punch her in the face and knock off that smug smirk. Of course she had the smirk on. She got what she wanted. She denied you of things you actually were there to go get over a fucking roasting pan, over something she knew you didn't want and didn't need. Why did you have her there in the first place? Playing all innocent. Oh, I just really thought I I really thought you could use one. Why are you always yelling at me? Similar instances occurred way too many times, more times than I would like to admit. For years, she would just push and push and push all my buttons. Then I would always lose my shit at the worst possible times. And of course, I'd have an audience. Years and years of this crazy bullshit. Once again, she made me think I was the crazy one. And once again, I really believed that I was. Honestly, hearing other people's stories, I'm really surprised that she didn't try to have me committed in a mental asylum. Crazy people make you crazy. Thanks, the princess. Crazy people make you crazy, which is why no contact is the only answer. The narcissist is always playing the game. Always playing the game. They're always looking for the angle to run your life, to ruin what you want and need, and to disregard what you don't want. This is all about control. You don't want a roasting pan. You're not only going to pay for not getting one, I'm going to deny you the things you actually want at the worst possible time by just keep picking and prodding and pushing your buttons until I get the reaction that I want. The only way to win is not to play the game. No contact. So, I hope that helps. Thank you so much, Princess, for another contribution and story. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, something you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up a Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with either the Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, and email links in the description box below. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. Also, be sure to subscribe to both my channels on Rumble. Follow me on Twitter and Telegram as well. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been Societal Narcissism. Take care, everyone.